Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/choosingbeggars, where people get way too picky when it comes to asking for free stuff. Before the video starts, if you're not already subscribed, then please do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some funny Reddit stories. Only $5? Oh, sorry, my mistake. This happened earlier today. I had dropped my daughter off at an event and had about 90 minutes to kill. So I decided to head one town over to pick up a few geocaches that had been taunting me. After my second cache hunt, I parked across the street from a little bodega to see where I should try my luck next. As I'm going through the nearby geocaches on my phone, I noticed a man begging for money from passerby outside of the bodega. I found a likely cache, then decided to buy a bottle of water at the bodega. Sidebar: I drive a 2010 Chrysler 300C AWD. I inherited the car from my mother when she passed away in December 2017. It's not the type of car that I would buy for myself, but it runs well and I have few complaints about it, so I drive it. I left my car, crossed the street, and sure enough, the guy asked me for some money. For some food. I was feeling generous and it was a nice day, so I reached into my wallet and handed him a $5 bill. Given the neighborhood, the odds were good that he'd use it for drugs, but whatever. I went inside, bought my water, and left. As I walked out, the man stopped me. "Hey brother, you have anything else for me?" "Excuse me?" "I mean, you must have lots of money driving that big car of yours." "Didn't I just give you $5? "Yeah man, but that's chump change. I'll bet you've got plenty more on you right now." I casually take a step back. "So, you'd rather have something other than the $5 I gave you?" "Yeah, how about it?" Me, smiling, "Sure thing." I pulled out my wallet. Where's that 5 I gave you?" The man handed me the $5 bill back. I took the bill. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so sorry. I put the $5 bill back into my wallet and I pocket my wallet. Have a great day. And with that, I turned and went back to my car. I was about halfway across the street when the guy started yelling at me. I turned and waved, more to make sure that he wasn't chasing after me than to goad on him, but he just stood there yelling racist comments at me. By the time I got into my car and pulled away, he was standing on the street cursing me out. I waved and left. I've never met someone like that, thankfully. If someone gives you money, you should just be grateful, like, you're getting free money for doing nothing. "Don't want the hoodie I gave you? Okay, let's break up." This happened my freshman year of high school, and I started to develop a taste for the clothing brand Supreme. My family is not well off, but I would save up over birthdays and doing yard work to get these clothing as it was what I liked and kept me out of trouble. At the time, I was dating this girl who called me one morning and it went something like this. "Hey, I don't have a coat, can you bring me a hoodie?" This was dead winter in Maine, and she was wearing just a t-shirt. So I respond with yeah, and grab a hoodie I had near me, which happened to be a white Nike hoodie, and headed off to school. I get to school, hoodie in hand, and go give it to her, and she just looks at me and says, what is this?" I responded to her, "It's a hoodie you asked for." Then, I kid you not, she starts crying, and through sobs, I could make out, I wanted a Supreme hoodie. For some context, my parents are divorced, and I have it set up there's 2 hoodies at each house, at least all times, so I didn't have a Supreme one as I only own 4 hoodies, 3 Supreme and 1 Nike. I ended up telling her, "Hey, stop crying, I only had this one available." She then gets up and pushes me, throwing me the hoodie and shoving me out of the way. Which was weird as she was like a little girl and I'm a big absolute unit of fat. Later that day, she texted me asking for the Supreme hoodie and I'm already mad, so I just tell her straight up, "No, you had your chance." Because I was angry. She then starts insulting me, calling me autistic. I have a mild form of autism, I won't go into it, I just lack empathy. Look up Asperger's if you want to know more. She says, "You're only doing this because you're autistic." And that really angered me, so I ended the relationship right then and there. Finally, this girl hits me up at the end of the day saying she's sorry and she missed me. At this point, I'm done and tell her to screw off as she knew about my disability and used it against me And I also had some other reasons to break up with her, but I won't go into the personal stuff. It would be amazing if you went in the next day wearing the Supreme hoodie with those Thug Life sunglasses. That would just be awesome. My stepsister-in-law wanted me to leave everything I have to her kids. My stepsister-in-law is the kind of person who couldn't fathom out why any woman would not want to become a mother. She's always been really critical of my choice to be child-free. She always made some catty comments about how I'll never know true happiness. However, when I saw her a few days ago at my dad's birthday party, she seemed to have done a complete 180. She told me again and again how she's supportive of my life choices and shouldn't have kids if I don't want them. I didn't know what to make of this. I just said something like, "Oh, okay, thanks." But my gut told me there was more to her sudden acceptance than she was letting on. The phone call I received from her yesterday proved my gut instincts right. She started off with the usual, "How are you? We need to get together soon. BS." Then she begins to not so subtly inquire about my finances. What sort of savings do I have? How much I make a year, etc. I of course got irritated and asked her what she meant and to come to the point. She giggled and replied, "Well, since you won't be having kids of your own, why don't you make my children your heirs?" I didn't know whether to laugh like a maniacal villain or just get angry. I decided to let her go on. "As you know, your brother and I are planning to have at least 4 kids. They already have 1. So, when they're born, you can leave equal portions of your estate to all of them." "Uh-huh. You and that boyfriend of yours say you don't even want to get married, so it's not like you have to leave anything for him, right?" "Really?" "Yeah. So, I thought instead of your life savings going to waste, they can just go to your family." "After I'm dead?" "Yes." "Do you plan to make it look like suicide or an accident?" What?" "Since you've planned all of this, you must have made some plans to off me, right? Go on, tell me what it is. Is it something super creative and unusual?" My stepsister-in-law, angry in the way that douchebags get when you call them out on their BS. "How could you think that? I only suggested this so you wouldn't have the burden of worrying about what would happen to your money when you're on your deathbed." "Aren't you a sweetheart? I'll spare you the burden of worrying about me, worrying about my money, by leaving everything I have to charities that I support." She started blabbering again before she could form a full sentence. I hung up. I also called my dad to let him know about this. This morning, I received a call from my stepbrother and he apologised profusely for what his wife had said. I told him if she ever pulled anything like this again, it will be the last time I speak to them. I bet she was devastated. It's going to be a really awkward phone call to the assassin when she has to explain that the deal is off. Ex-boyfriend gets angry at me when my parents don't hand over 15 grand. Some backstory. I dated this guy for a long time and he was a nice guy. Choosy beggar and entitled person all wrapped in one. I have tons of stories, but this made me laugh. I was the only one who worked and he sat at home eating Maccas and playing games, drinking and being lazy AF. He destroyed my bank account daily and threatened to hurt himself or my family if I told him I wanted to leave him. Anyway, one day I received this phone call after work. "Hey, I need you to ask your parents for something." Me, skeptical. "What like?" "I just want them to give me a loan." My parents are very wealthy, but despise my boyfriend because of how much he takes from me. "No, sorry, I really doubt they'll give you a loan. I already owe them so much for keeping my car on the road. I can't really..." "I only need 15 grand. Me, silent for a heartbeat, and said oh so carefully, "They're not going to give you 15,000. What would you even need that for?" "I'm going to buy a car." 15,000? You can buy a decent one for 5. I'm still not asking mum and dad to give you $15,000. I myself would never ask, "But I want a decent car. New one if I can. And besides, I can pay them back when my house sells." His mum's house isn't even on the market and he thinks it's gonna sell next week. And he's gonna pay mum and dad real quickly. Houses take a long time to sell. It'll take years. "No it won't." Yes, it will. I've done this 4 times, living with my family. And even so, mum and dad aren't going to give you $15,000. My boyfriend explodes. That's because they hate me. Me, internally, here we go. They're horrible people. I should burn their house down and make them having nothing. Death threats are common. They don't have to give you anything. That's because they hate me. They always have. Selfish minors. Yeah, I know. Look, I gotta go. I hang up and call mum and she explodes into laughter. Dad does too. We have another good laugh when boyfriend asks me to pay for skydiving lessons so he can start up a skydiving school. But at this point of time, I'm just happy he's blocked me on all social media. After this happened, he didn't talk about it much, but showed me stupidly expensive cars. I paid no mind. I was too busy thinking of ways of escaping his abuse. Well, it's a good job he's an ex-boyfriend, because I don't know what she'd be doing if he was still current one. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.